taking a look at our drought monitor right now, we did see some improvement mainly in Kansas, a little bit of some changes in Nebraska as well, although the only big change that we really saw was this abnormally dry spot in the western part of the Panhandle, and that did increase our percentage in Nebraska as well, and that moderate drought stayed around the same percentage in Nebraska. Taking a look at our 6 to 10 day temperatures, we're looking at below average temperatures in the central part of the United States, above average temperatures in the western part, as well as parts of Texas and Florida. And as we look a little farther out to 30 days, that below average continues for the central part of the plains as well, big part of northern Kansas as well as Nebraska. Once again, the above average chance to see those warmer temperatures, it's looking like in western U.S. as well as down in Florida. Once again, and taking a look out 90 days, that below average sticks around in our area, so looks like we will be seeing those cooler temperatures continuing at least throughout 90 days, and then those warmer temperatures in California as well as parts of the south, including Florida and parts of Texas as well. Now taking a look at our precipitation chances, we are looking at above average chances for parts of the Midwest as well as parts of the South, and looking at parts of Oklahoma and southern Kansas included in some above average chances for that. We do have a below average chance dipping down into North Dakota, but equal chances across our area in Nebraska and northern Kansas. Equal chances looking out to 30 days for our area as well. Above average chances are creeping up, getting pretty close to that northern Kansas area, but includes parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, as well as Colorado. Now 90 days out, we're looking at near average for some areas, but most of the state of Nebraska as well as Kansas are looking at above average chances for some precipitation in the next 90 days. So that is good news for that, but below average chances for parts of Texas as well as Louisiana. Here's a look at our almanac averages around 86 and then 64. We're going to be pretty close to average, maybe just a few degrees off for the next week. And here's a look at our proverb for this week, talking about those fogs, since we have been seeing those throughout this past week. Well, you sent us some pictures, and now here they are.
Take a look at what's going on as far as market numbers go. Jeff Peterson joining us here from Heartland Farm Partners. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome, Evelyn.
So a lot of the big thing right now that we're hearing about is Russia, you know, and cutting off ag imports there. So what do we need to be seeing there as far as market-wise? It's got to have an impact.
You know, it seems like we haven't talked about Russia for a while, so they're back in the news.
That's right, that's right.
So what impact is it? There's two numbers that's being discussed out there. One talks about the amount of poultry they've been purchasing. The number that's being thrown around is about $300 million worth. Our research would indicate that's about 285 million pounds. To put that in perspective, as a country, we export about 8.3 billion pounds. So it's about 3.5%. So not a big market mover. Over on the soybean side, the latest talk is they're going to import, we're supposed to, about 18 million bushels. Well, we're going to export this year about 1.7 billion bushels. So it's about 1.1%. Overall, we think there's going to be more talk about it than it's actually going to have impact on the prices.
And see, that's interesting. Someone from the Farm Bureau mentioned that, you know, it's probably going to hurt Russia's consumers more than it would us here. Now, other factors that we need to maybe take into consideration.
Yeah, you know, earlier you were talking about the rain. There's definitely some areas out there that need some rain. This rain front that came through was looking at about 80% coverage as forecasted, only ended up being about 65%, so you'll still hear some talk out there of some areas a little too dry. However, nationally across the whole crop, you need to start thinking about the yield and where that's going to come in. As a matter of fact, next Tuesday there's going to be another major report that USDA will put out. The thing to watch for in that report will be the yield. and we think we're going to see them raise it. Currently, they're about 165 bushels the acre. We think they'll bring it up to about 169 bushels the acre, and we think they'll keep soybean yield probably pretty steady. What's important about that report, they'll actually be out in the fields looking at the crop and getting the first estimate. That's the first one of those this year.
Not just surveys
Exactly.
and talk, then
Yeah.
that's kind of more stagnant. So explain their long term, what do you think we can expect here?
You know what, long term, I think, unfortunately, I think we still have some more downside in the markets. If this crop continues to progress as we believe, we think there's probably another 20 to 30 cents lower possible on the corn side. Now over on the bean side, we've still got some time depending on the weather yet, but we think there could be as much as 70 to maybe $1.20 lower yet on the beans.
Okay, not saying things that a lot of people want to hear. Some people, I guess, want to hear, but some people don't.
Some
So
don't,
thank
I know.
you
You're
so much
welcome.
for coming in. If you have questions, remember you can always go to our website as well, nebraska.tv. Click on NTV's Grow. We'll contact information there for Heartland Farm Partners as well.